The Problem of Evil, written by Kelli Kolev. Chapter 2 continued. Because it was the wrath of God that had to be demonstrated against sin, Jesus had to be humiliated. Because it is shameful to be known as a murderer. It is shameful to be known as a liar, an adulterer, a thief, and for any other sin, the wrath of God had to be demonstrated against His Son, and at the same time, God's incredible active mercy is also demonstrated for us. God laid all the sins of humanity onto Jesus, every single sin committed by every single human being ever born or ever will be born. God laid it all on His Son. This is the doctrine of substitution. God looked at Jesus on the cross and treated Him as if He lived your life, taking His wrath out on Jesus. And when you come to receive salvation by belief in Jesus Christ, God looks at your life as if you lived Jesus' perfect life. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. That is the doctrine of substitution. But believing in Jesus is not just believing that He lived and died. There are millions of people that believe that it is not until you confess that He rose from the dead that you admit your faith. Believing in Jesus is not just believing, it is believing what He said. Salvation is not just believing, it is dying to your old self and becoming the new self. The Holy Spirit will mold you to be. Chapter 3, why can't mankind change? Like I said in chapter 1, mankind is born inclined to death and darkness. Mankind has an awareness of evil, but we choose to do bad things to each other and keep doing bad things to each other. God won't let the unjust go unpunished in the end. God will get justice for everyone. It doesn't matter how small a thing that is. Done to someone, it might be overlooked by humanity, but God sees everything and mankind has no power over. God, can you escape being condemned to hell? Can you escape the justice God will have on you? I've seen some pretty horrible things in my life. I've seen people's head getting chopped off by another person. I've heard of men molesting over 200 children, seen real evil, and mankind cannot change this evil. It is written in our blood when we are born. There is no escape. Everyone will have to face the evil in the world at one point or another in their life, and whether you're facing it or committing it, you know what's wrong. Mankind cannot change simply because he does not want to. The evil that is in us when we're born follows us around throughout our lives, and we give in to that, giving it power over us. The temptation that comes before sin offers something intrinsic and value, telling you that it's okay to do whatever you're going to do, but we don't think about the people it's hurting. We don't think about the consequences, and we don't think about the pain it will cause in our own lives. If we give into the temptation, we make life hard for ourselves when we don't do what God commands. God didn't give us commands because He was talking just to talk. End of part 5.